Well, good news is that it's a full week of local racing. Monday was racing at Kenilworth. Tuesday is racing back in a PE in Gqeberha, where we're on the poly track for an 8-race program commencing at 12:35. Don't forget you can like us on using our Twitter handle, or indeed you can get in touch with us via WhatsApp. But of course, a big reminder that thanks to our sponsors, Betway, they proudly sponsor Weighted to Win. Well, it is also a great pleasure to welcome Nina Podesta, our expert on Port Elizabeth racing. He is halfway around the world. He's in South America, and he is going to give us his wisdom as far as the exotics are concerned. Starting with race number 1, let me give you the guide to the betting so far. It is number 3, Captain Cool, first time on the poly, 5-2. Also first time on the poly, first time in Gqeberha will be the 4-horse fly, formerly with the Azzies, on the high field at 7-2. Also 7-2 is the 6 Connection, who has the advantage of having raced on the poly and has been in PE for a while. But Nina, warm welcome to you. I think it is appropriate to say warm welcome from South America. And thank you for taking time to join us and to help us through Fairview's card for Tuesday.
Good morning, Cecil. Absolute pleasure to be on with you.
Thank you so much. Yes, now let's get straight to it because our line may just give in on us. I've gone through the joint favourites, and there are the 3 Captain Cool and the 4 Horsefly, who has been shortened in from 7-2 to 5-2. This is looking ahead to Tuesday racing, starting with that first at 12:35. How many horses do we need to get through the first leg of the bipod?
Cecil, for the brave ones, I do believe that 3 and 4 will be enough to get them through. Now, Captain Cool brings a Cape form. And the run behind Amber Rock should be good enough to beat a field of this nature. And then obviously the stable of Alan Threep and Richard Fourie, who are on top form at the moment. So 3 and 4 in the first leg of the bipod.
Okay, so that is 3 and 4. And if you really wanted another one, I see you've added a couple more, 6 and 9. And that is the way to go. So that will be an outlay of 180 Rand. Be on by 12:35. That is our first exotic of the afternoon, and that starts with our very first at 12:35. That is at the bipod in at Gqeberha. Take note of that off time, 12:35. All right, let's get to one of the more popular bets on the local totem. That is the PA coming through from a PE, whatever the venue. You can be guaranteed a useful dividend. Usually lies at the end of that particular exotic. Now, betting for race number 2, you've got the 3, and that is Sunlit from Heaven, and that is currently at a 9 at a 10. The next best is number 5, Sundrop, at a 3-1, and then 9-2. About number 1, Secret Summer. You can name your price about the rest. It is 9-10, a horse that certainly has enjoyed the poly. That is Sunlit from Heaven. Nino, is this a PA banker? Well, let's give us your thoughts on race number 2.
Well, Cecil, definitely a PA banker. There's only 6 horses running, and Concept not running in the first 3. And I've also banked it in the bipod. A very weak maid. And if Sunlit from Heaven doesn't break its maiden tomorrow, then I think she's going to struggle to win a maiden. Yes, so I'm very strong.
Okay, so you're strong on the 3, Sunlit from Heaven. Banker in the bipod, leg 2. Banker in the PA, leg number 1. And I think that name, Sunlit from Heaven, would have to be changed, if not breaking that maiden in race 2, according to Nino. Let's have a look at his place accumulator selections. And, of course, a reminder that 13 at 10 is the off-timer to race number 2. Banker the 3. And then there's a banker in that 4th leg, and that is race number 6, where the 1 is a confident selection, and that is a final edition, was also confident selection in computer form. That's Nina Podesta and the place accumulator selection, starting race number 2. Quite a few short price favourites, and the latest race we're going to discuss, race 3, because that is the start of the Pick 6, and has had the 1 run in the province when still trained by Corner Speeds, was a winner everywhere but the post. That was over the 1800 metres, now goes over the shorter trip of 1600 metres. Gavin Smith and Calvin Abib, trainer jockey respectively, on a Tuesday, and Delona is at 12-10. 28-10 is the 3, Elusive Martyr, and then it's 4-1 about the 5, Ponte Vecchio. It's 11-2 and a better bar. Those Juilona has battled to get out of those maidens after 17 outings. 18 could be the lucky one. Is this a likely banker, or you're going to just play it safe, Nino?
I'm playing it safe because it was a good run last time, course and distance. and it was a 1600, not a 1800.
16
It's the
is.
same distance as Mara, and a very good run the first time out on the poly, Cecil, but I'm backing it up with number 3, Elusive Mortar, and I'm looking for improvement on number 5, Ponte Vecchio.
Thank you.
1, 3,
1, 3, and a 5 there. That is Elusive Martyr, who's second favorite at 3-1, and then number 5, Ponte Vecchio. Thank you for that correction. I looked at the preceding run, which was 1,800 meters, and it's definitely 1,600 once again on the poly on Tuesday for number 1, and that is Gelona. 1,440 Rand is the total outlay, and again we have that same bank, and that comes about in the form of final edition. That is in the colors of an inform ownership in race number 6. We'll talk about that banker once we get to that jackpot, which comes up next. All right, so we get to race number 4. We did allude to that first jackpot starting in race number 4. This is a classified stakes over the 2,200 meters. You can put a line through number 2. Great Affair, one of only 2 scratches that have come through so far. The other being in the preceding race, race number 3. Now, in the betting, we've got the 5 cent clue. 33-10, looking to turn around things with the loudest pride, who's at a very decent price. Number 8, Head Gardeners at 7-2, 15-4, the 4 gold for Africa. Fujisan, that is number 6 at 5-1, and then the 1, Loudest Pride, a winner last time, is at 6-1. So that is a classified stakes over the 2,200 meters, the 2 Great Affair. Is a scratching. Let's get the thoughts of Nino as we get into a 9-runner field for that first leg of the first jackpot.
Yeah, well, Cecil, number 2, Great Affair, was one of my top picks in this race, and that, with the scratching of that, I think this is wide open. I know for a fact that Frank Clue would have liked it a bit short. Last time I actually spoke to Alan when it ran over 2, and he told me that it was a bit too far and brought it back in distance. So I think this is an open race, and I believe that there's many with chances. So in the pick 6, Elada's Pride, Gold for Africa, St. Cloud, Head Gardner, and I wanted to replace Great Affair with Mingxi. So Mingxi must be added to all bets now with the scratching of number 2.
All right, so thanks very much to Wanina there. Mingxi will come in. It wasn't to be part of the original list, but we've lost the number 2, Great Affair, Tara Lang's charge, that was due to be ridden by Ray Danielson. And at this early stage, hopefully, Dennis Schwarz, who was stood down after the last meeting at Fairview, is carded to ride at the 3 Space Explorer, one of the outsiders in the race. Hopefully that is the case, but we do wish Wesley Mawing, on the other hand, who incurred a long-term injury at the same meeting in Quebec, we wish him a safe and a full recovery from his injuries. Banker the 1, that will be in leg 2 of Jackpot 1, and that is coming up next, race number 5, which will see the conclusion of our jackpot segment as we get into that second jackpot, leg 1. Right, the last chance to get involved in a jackpot on a Tuesday afternoon at Fairview on the Polytrack will be with the running of race number 5, being an 8-race program. And the rivals meet yet again. Cruise Control is your favorite after a very good victory last time out at 12-10. Lewin Klotwa gets a rider from Gavin Smith in those colors of Mr. Vicky Verimatu, and that is at 12-10. Second favorite is the 2, Clifftop, and equally famous Silks, and that is at 22-10. And then you're looking at bigger prizes about the likes of the 3 EVs first, although there has been a nibble at this early stage. Cruise Control, that in fact was the banker in the earlier exotics, and I erroneously referred to it as number 1 in race 6, when in fact it is number 1 in race number 5. I get the impression that you're going to have a little nibble at that 12-10.
Definitely going to have a bit of a nibble at that, 12-10. I think it's a good price. I do believe it will shorten a little bit, probably start around even money. And unbeaten on the poly, unbeaten over 1,000, drawn 1. I cannot, she's going to be very hard to beat. Cecil. Confidently banker for me, and a confident best bet on the card.
Right, you've heard it from the man. He knows his onions. He knows his racing, period. But of course, a PE he's turned into a speciality. It is Banker the one, a cruise control best bet on the card, and definitely worth a nibble at that 12 to 10 because it won't be around come 14.55. The off time to that first leg of the second jackpot, and then wide at the back. 96 Rand, a very, very good outlay. And let's just confirm that confidence about a cruise control. That is a win bet, a confident win bet, courtesy of Mr. Nina Podesta, coming all the way from South America. And that is his best bet of the afternoon. Race 5, number 1, cruise control.